Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing good-ish. Not a bad day. I got to ride the bike, so that always makes it a good day. But last week, during the lead up to the 300th episode, I had asked you guys to ask questions or whatever it might be that you wanted to know about me for answering. And so some of the questions I didn't get to, and one of them in particular, I read it, but I put it off until this week because I wanted to talk. I guess I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the whole thing, and that was, do you still design games? And I don't remember who asked. I don't have my phone. Okay, well, we'll just roll. So I don't remember who asked the question, but somebody said, do you still design games? And that answer is yes-ish. I still think about designing games quite a bit. Do I still design games? I would love to say yes, but the truth of the matter is I still try to design games, but I've lost a lot of my passion for it, and that is directly a result of the medication that I am on for my mental problems. And I knew that. It's been almost 3 years now, or maybe even almost 4 years. I don't remember how long it's been exactly since I've been on this medication, and I spent a good, 2 months soul-searching to decide whether I wanted to actually go on medication or not. I'd been on it before, various SSRIs before, and so I knew kind of how they would make me feel. And at that point in time, I'm probably bipolar. I'm not positive, but I've always hyper-focused on things. And so at that point in time, it was purely game design I was hyper-focusing on, and I would design a game a day. And I'm not even kidding you. I would rush through game designs constantly, just trying things, this, that, and people were like, how do you get all this done? And I'm just crazy, right? And I knew that taking the medication would stifle that to some degree. And it pretty much killed it completely. Light switch, I no longer have the drive that I had. And that goes to everything. I don't have the drive, other than this show, I don't really have the drive to do much of anything. I don't get hyper intensely focused on things like I used to. And that was a conscious decision. I decided that I would rather feel mundane than be just down all the time. Because that's a dark path, and I don't enjoy being on it. And I wasn't just down. I said I was probably bipolar. There was a lot of ups and downs. So I would get grumpy. I would get angry at the girls. I wasn't a very good father, and then I would dive into this thing, and it just is what it is. So we haven't talked about this in a while. This is the game that I've been working on for the last couple of months, and we talked about it quite a bit there for a while, but we haven't touched on it again. We haven't touched on it recently, and that's simply because I haven't played it in a couple of months now. It's been a few months since the last time this saw the table with other people. I have done some development on it since then. I don't think I've played with other people with this version of the game, but I do still design games. So what is this? This is a little... It was intended to be little. It's grown up quite a bit. Card-driven base building game that's set on terraforming a planet. And when this idea came to me, it was originally going to be just a deck of cards, and then it's expanded to have a board and chips and dice and people, and there's all kinds of mechanics. And the reason I haven't played it is because the last time I played it, I felt like I had pushed it a little too far, and I needed to dial it back. And so then I went to do that dialing back and ended up pushing it farther. And so I've been playing this version by myself off and on for the last couple of months, and I'm just not happy with it. So what usually happens, like any creator, for me, designing a game like this is a big game. This is not my normal style of game. I normally design little things, just a small set of cards. For something like that, it's very much like writing a book. You have to kind of do it for a little while and then put it away and then come back to it and see if distance yourself from it. Mechanically, there are some mechanics in there that I was not willing to compromise. I wanted to keep it like this. And so I was dead set on that. Well, now I've walked away from it for 2 months. When I go back at it, when I pick it back up and look at it again, it's quite possible that I will completely throw those mechanics out now because I'm no longer emotionally invested in them. So I'll be picking that up again soon. We haven't talked about it at all, like I said, for at least a month or two now. I did design, just the other day, I designed a tiny little game. I think this is 19 cards or so. Super simple little thing. And this was fun. I had a little manic episode, and I ended up drawing a bunch of graphics for it and stuff, because that's how I get into this. For me, the graphic design is half the fun of designing a game. So I did do this recently, and I've been playtesting it, and it works. This is based on another game, so it's hard. It's kind of a hard sell to say, I've got this game. Have you played this? Well, this is like a successor to that. That's a hard thing to do, especially since I didn't have the original drive or inspiration for the original game, and so that makes it very difficult for me, just me as a person, to invest in that system to make my own version. But I thought I'd give it a go, and like I said, I had a flash of inspiration and a moment of mania. I drew all these icons and put it all together, and it actually works. So I'm kind of happy with that. I'm still going to test it some. Hopefully tomorrow we'll test it quite a bit and determine whether I actually want to go forward with it or stop and put it away for a while. So yes, I still design games. It is extremely infrequently, though, that I get vested in a design. And a part of that process is, I've always told people fail and fail often when you're designing games, because the only way you're going to learn what works for you and what doesn't is by trying it. And chances are it's going to fail. And so you'll eventually, after, it's like anything. It's like any skill like that. After you failed, repeatedly, you can zone in on why you failed and then correct that problem, and then just keep correcting until eventually the outcome is something decent. And I used to do that quite a bit. The problem is, for where I'm at in my mental space now, failure to finish is the problem. So if I start something and I don't finish it, then that weighs very heavily on me, as I don't get any of the. How do I explain this? Emotionally, there is like a reward system in your head that you do a task and you feel good about it, right? And there's a lot of upfront feel good. It's like you shouldn't tell somebody you're going to do something, because that gives you that feel good feeling, and then you don't do it because you've already got the good feeling out of it, right? And so designing a game like this, it doesn't work like that for me anymore. I don't get the feel-good feeling from the first version. I don't get the feel-good feeling from the second version. I don't get the feel-good feeling from drawing the graphics. I'm only going to ever get the feel-good feeling if it actually works, and then I can say it's finished and I'm done with it. That doesn't mean it's going to be published. That doesn't mean I'm ever going to sell it or do anything with it. But just knowing that I completed it is the most important thing. So unlike times past, where I would have like 6 or 7 ongoing game designs that I would just kind of pick up and go and pick up, I can't do that anymore because I need to see it through to its final form. So that's why this one's sitting for right now. And I'm not working on anything else. This doesn't really count. Again, this is just a kind of a redo of something I've already played. And I'll come back to it. We'll talk about it again. If you're interested in any of the games that I've designed in the past, please let me know in the comments down below. I have thought about maybe placing small orders to have units for sale on the website where the t-shirts are. If you're interested in a t-shirt, by the way, you can go pick that up, and I make them here. But let me know if you're interested in any of the games that I have designed, or if you want me to just talk about them. We can do maybe a small run of me showing you the stuff that I've done. But yeah, that's it. So tonight is hockey. I'm going to go watch hockey with friends, which is going to be really, really fun. So I need to get this up and done. I forgot to bring my phone down here. So we're going to let Ryan and Joel handle the outro. So thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and commenting and being awesome friends. I will see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Hello, I'm Joel from Joel Nert.
And I'm Ryan from Hubbard's Handmade.
Today's random fact comes from Wikipedia. What was the name of the first space shuttle?
I don't know.
The Space Shuttle Enterprise. NASA Orbiter Vehicle Designation OV-101 was the first space shuttle. It was built for NASA as part of the Space Shuttle program to perform test flights in the atmosphere. You know, interestingly, last summer, my family and I went to Kennedy Space Center and we saw the Enterprise.
Really?
It's freaking awesome.
Which only bears the question, what's better, Star Trek or Star Wars?
Uh...
Get out!